How's it going, everybody? Matt Bourie from the Jackpot Gents with my dad, Steve Bourie. And today we are talking to our friend Anthony Curtis from the Las Vegas Advisor. How you doing today, Anthony?
Hey, I'm doing good.
And this video is going to be in two parts. Part one is going to go on this channel, the Jackpot Gents. Part two is going to go on our other channel, the American Casino Guide book. And we're talking to Anthony about all things Las Vegas. So, Dad, how are you doing today?
I am okay. I think I need a nap as usual, but I'm giving all my effort here to do this interview.
Okay.
But Anthony, it's been a while. I think October was the last time we did an interview with you, so I'm sure a lot has happened since then. But in general, and we always start off this way. How are things in Las Vegas now? Are they still continuing to build or leveling off, or how's it going?
Well, it's busy. It's continues to be busy. We keep having event after event. They just had the Pro Bowl here. Super, just concert after concert. Taylor Swift just played. We're going to have the Formula One races at the end of the year now. Right now, this weekend, we're having the NCAA basketball tournament is playing at T-Mobile. So, four days, Thursday through Sunday, just past weekend, I guess, when this will air. It just keeps going. It's crazy. Road work everywhere, traffic everywhere. I mean, I'm starting to get tired of Vegas from that point of view.
All right. Well, let me ask you on this because of the stories I read, business is booming everywhere, casinos. But also, on the other hand, I've heard that, well, they're making more money, but I think part of these articles that I read was that they reduced their staffing. Now, do you have notice anything like that in Las Vegas?
It's been like that since the pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the formula right now is continue to make money, hand over fist, and keep the staff slow. So so they're outgoing, so their cost of doing business is down. So I mean, I hate to say it, but for the most part, especially a lot of places on the Strip, some of the big locals places, Station and Boyd and all that, you're getting a diminished experience. It's not good, but they're getting away with it. People, continue to travel here and pile in.
Seems to be that seems to be the story everywhere in the hospitality industry. Down here in South Florida, it seems to be the same thing too. All the restaurants are understaffed, the hotels are understaffed, but people aren't making enough of a fuss, I guess. So they're just continuing trying to see how much they can get away with, and they're getting away with a lot.
Well, that's the point. What you just said, nobody's making a fuss. And we hear about it. We hear about it all the time. Going, I had lousy service here and whatever. But whatever. Who cares? So what are you going to do? They can get away with it. They're going to do it.
Yeah. And now back to the Formula One that you had mentioned. That's coming up, I guess, at the end of the year. How's that going? I keep seeing these things about insane prices for packages, hotel packages, like pushing six figures. How is the ramp up to that going? What do you see?
Well, it's such a big deal. And, there's news about it every week. The casinos are along the path where they're going to be racing are making all kinds of plans. I mean, with these gigantic packages that cost $12,000, $18,000, this sort of thing for seating and some sort of party, and you don't even get it to your hotel room with it. They're building grandstands outside of at Bellagio in front of the fountains. They're building another viewing area on top of the fountains. Caesars is knocking down one of their buildings. It's called the Rotunda. It's the small kind of dome building that was out front in front of the Coliseum. They're knocking that down so they can build grandstands. It's just crazy. And what's funny is I didn't even mention the Super Bowl is going to be here next year. So they're counting down to the Super Bowl. But nobody's even talking about the Super Bowl because it's all F1 at this point. F1 is really stealing the thunder as of now. Now that will all change as soon as the races run, in November.
Now, what's crazy to me is, so my girlfriend, her family's European, and her dad's a huge Formula One fan. And he went down here when they had the Miami race this past year, and he said he's done going. He said it was cheaper last year to fly to Monaco and watch the Formula One in Monaco than it was to buy tickets to the Formula One race here in Miami and drive 2 hours south to Miami.
Yeah,
so
I'm not surprised. And I mean,
he said that they're just completely pricing people out. He said that's the last event he'll ever go to, and he used to go to like multiple ones a year.
Yeah.
So and it
They're doing
sounds
that
like
here too.
I was going to say, sounds like Vegas is right along, going in the same path.
Yeah, they're getting all they can. And I mean, what's really amazing though is the investment that Formula One is making into this. You know, they're building something called the Paddock, which is, you can see as soon as you come out of the airport, you run into it almost, and it is it's amazing. I mean, it is it's something else, and it's going up really fast.
And that's a permanent structure year round, or this is just for the race?
No, it's going to be permanent. And, you know, I don't know if they're going to, I mean, like I say, they're going to town on the building of this thing. And I'm not sure some portion of it's going to be ready for the race, but then it's going to be a year-round venue where they're going to have, you know, a race. It's going to be a racing themed place, you know, and they're going to have restaurants in there and you know, simulators and all that kind of stuff. And then of course it'll be the viewing spot. It was only supposed to be for 3 years originally, although everyone knew they were negotiating, and now it's going to be a 10-year event. So
wow.
it's going to be a year-round racing around here, you know, in that area with the Paddock.
And when does the event start? I don't even know.
The week before Thanksgiving. It's going to be, every year is going to be the week before Thanksgiving. So this year, I'm not sure what the exact day is, the 24th, the 26th, something like that. But yeah, that's the way they're gonna plan it.
Okay, I'll make sure I'm not in Las Vegas the week before Thanksgiving.
No kidding, man. I mean, we're experiencing that right now. It's like everybody who lives in town here says, do not go anywhere near New York, Park MGM, you know, any of those because of the traffic, because of the NCAA right now. It's getting nuts out here, man.
Yeah, I believe. Last time we were talking, we were mentioning that some of the games were being tightened up. We were talking about a lot of the spread, possibly more spread of 6 to 5 blackjack games, 000 roulette. What is your thoughts in that area? Are they still tightening, or have they loosened up a bit? How's it going?
Yeah, everything. I'll tell you what, not much has changed. You know, from the last time we talked, $15 is the new $5 when you start talking about table game minimums. It's, you know, rarely can you find $5 tables anymore. The rules, 6 to 5 in blackjack and 6-5, you know, bonus poker and, you know, this kind of stuff. Right on the strip, you know, that used to be 6-5 bonus poker was usually like the best game you'd find in a bar, but it's a terrible game. You know, it's over 3% casino edge. Yeah, now you're finding that in the big strip casinos now, and you know, at higher denoms. So it's really not great. Now, on the other hand, you have a place like the Downtown Grand, which is going the opposite direction. I was there yesterday. You won't believe what I was there for. The first mini blackjack tournament, $25 buy-in mini blackjack tournament open to the public that I've seen in more than 10 years, closer to 20 than 10 years.
Did you win?
I went to the final table and took last. we used to always have a saying when I was playing on the big teams, that Stanford Wong, who started the team, had a saying. He said the best result is to take first, and the second best result is to take last, because that means you were going for first. So I guess it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I also haven't played in forever, and I was rusty as hell, and I'm not happy about the way I performed. But the point is like there'll always be some competition, and the Downtown Grand is sort of going back to that. They had 2 $1 blackjack tables in action while I was down there.
Wow.
They were both filled. There were 6 seat tables,
wow.
both filled. And
Even money, or
what's that?
was it even money, or
It was 6 to 5.
Oh,
it was 6 to 5. Now on bets from $1 to $5, on $1 to $4, they pay those at even money, because it's hard to pay, you know, $1.20 and, you know, $2.40 and that kind of. But, you know, it's a dollar game. It's a slow game. Your expected loss in that game is probably about 60 cents an hour, you know, I mean, if you're playing straight dollars. But I mean, you know, people are getting cocktails and all, and then they had the tournament on the side. They're going to run that every Thursday, starts at 3:00 in the afternoon, and they're going to run it weekly. And so, you know, it's not all bad, and there's always good things you can find. There's always competition out here.
Well, let me ask this one thing before we move on. What was the name of the casino? It used to be the Barbary Coast, and then what is it now?
Cromwell.
Cromwell, there you go. And now the Cromwell had excellent games for a while. They were had full pay video poker. They had good rules all around. Did they go down, or are they still at the same level offering good games? Some of the best, they had single zero roulette.
Yeah, they changed all that.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, now their video poker is really pedestrian. They used to have 100 times odds on craps. They don't have that anymore. I think it's down to 5, or two,
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever.
3, 4, 5. Yeah.
No, they don't have. They tried that model. They went away from that pretty quick. But like I say, you find these other places. I mentioned Downtown Grand. I should also mention Oyo, which used to be Hooters. They also have a $1 blackjack table. I like Grand better because they usually have 2 and sometimes 3, so you have more access. They have $5 craps. They're gonna drop that to $3. Also downtown, you can go play single zero roulette at $10 minimum, I think it is, but single zero roulette at the Plaza. So it's downtown's really the place to go still if you're looking for the better games. You can go to El Cortez and they've got single deck blackjack that pays 3 to 2. That I believe they and possibly Silverton are the only ones in town that do that. So you can find these things, but they're few and far between.
And on top of it, Oyo, at least you go downtown, there's a bunch of different casinos you can go to. Oyo is kind of off the strip and sort of a little bit isolated. So it's
Oyo is, you could walk to the Trop or you could walk across the street to MGM Grand. I don't know why you'd want to do either one of those two things, to be honest.
So last time we spoke, I believe MGM had just completed their takeover of the casino at the Cosmopolitan. Did they roll over to the M Life Players Club, or what's going on with that?
I think that's in progress. I don't think that their systems are ready on that yet. They're going to. They'll eventually be. They'll get rid of, what are they now? Identity, I think it's called, and they'll become the M Life. But I don't think that's happened yet.
The funny thing is, I think they're cross promoting now, because I got an email the other day that from MGM, and I don't normally play at MGM, and it said, "Oh, I can get up to 4 nights for free at Aria," and I was like, "Wow, that's a nice property. Why the hell are they giving me 4 nights for free?" It says, "Click this link and see your offers." I clicked the link. I looked for 6 months straight. There was not a single night for free, and the minimum was like $275 a night. So I was like, "Why are you even sending me?" It was the biggest bait and switch I've ever seen.
Yeah, geez. Well, that doesn't surprise me one bit. But
yeah, I was blown away. I was like, "Why are they giving me free nights at Aria?" And they weren't.
No, they weren't. No.
And,
all right. Well, you have a couple of new projects in Vegas that we've been hearing about for a while. One was the Fontainebleau and Durango Station.
They're upcoming. Well, we actually had a couple of new ones just open, and one's called Ojos Locos, and it's basically the first completely Latin themed casino. And
where's that at?
North Las Vegas. It used to be the Speedway, and then it became the Lucky Club. And it's close, it's close to the racetrack there. That's why it was originally Speedway. But now it is completely themed for Latin, Mexican Latin. You go in and there's all this mariachi music going. There are no table games. It's all slots and machines. It's one of the strangest casinos I've seen. It's like a really big, it looks like an airport hangar, all like one big room. The only sectioned off areas that I saw were the restrooms. The rest of it is it's only separated by the bar and various, rows of slot machines and things like that. That said, they call it the Mexican Hooters. So all of the girls are dressed, in sexy lingerie and all that kind of stuff. That's what they're going for. It's really like a big casino sports bar. Pretty good food, which you can eat at the bar or at the adjoining area, which is sort of like a restaurant area. Again, not sectioned off. But it's something completely different. It's worth a look if you come out here. The other one, and then we can discuss if you want that. The other one is a new Wildfire. That's a Station Casino brand. There's 7 or 8 of those now, and that's down where the old Showboat used to be, way down on Boulder Highway. So those have opened already. They both opened last month, and what we've got coming now are probably Durango Station will be next, and after that will be probably Fontainebleau.
I thought Fontainebleau was close, weren't they? Well, the building's been there for almost 20 years now. I think since the 2008 financial crisis, and they still haven't finished that. I would think that would be almost done.
Oh no, well, it was very close to done. I mean, that's the main thing. It's sat there shuttered for more than a decade. and it was almost ready to open, and they had a big upheaval there and financial trouble, and I guess that's what it was. Financial trouble stopped it, and it got sold and sold and sold, and nobody ever opened it. And now they're getting ready to do it this year. They've got it scheduled for sometime, not an exact date, but I believe for December this year.
Well, and that's a huge property. Do you know how many rooms are in that place? It's huge.
Gigantic. It's this is another 3,000 to 4,000 room hotel. I mean, it's immense.
And now there was one other one that we had talked about that I think it was one of the Fertittas, right? Didn't he just buy something on the Strip? I think it had just come out like the day before we did our last interview that he was the one that bought it. Is that still going along too?
Well, that's basically at Center Strip, across from Cosmopolitan. And you've got the Fertitta brothers out here who run the Station Casinos empire, and then their cousin is Tillman Fertitta, who owns the Golden Nugget downtown, but also
and Landry's restaurants too, right? I think
Landry's restaurant chains and casinos, in Mississippi and all around, I think Louisiana perhaps, in a bunch of different areas. And he has said that he's going to build a big resort on the corner there across the Strip from Cosmopolitan. But just recently it's come out that there is no timetable for this at all. So we're looking at several years down the road. It's not like they've already started building there or anything like that. We got a ways to go on that one, but he'll get it done because he's a doer, and they're very well financed.
Now that Tillman Fertitta, his properties are known as Golden Nugget, aren't they? So yes, he would have a problem doing that in Las Vegas with Golden Nugget already there.
Well, he owns that Golden Nugget downtown.
Oh, he owns that one too. Oh, okay. Well, then Golden Nugget too.
Yeah, this won't be another Golden Nugget. This will be something else. But they haven't mentioned anything about what the name would be or, any of the amenities. It'll be a big deal though when they do it.
Okay. Now, how about Palms? We always talk about the Palms because the Indian tribe had bought that, and they own the Yamava Casino in California. So what is the deal on Palms? Any update there? Are they still standing in line for those lobsters?
Well, they are. The big deal about the Palms, the Palms reopened the Ghost Bar upstairs. So it's kind of cool in that regard. And then, the Palms is always a kind of a sexy casino, and they've got the big sports book area there and everything else. But the main thing about the Palms is the buffet. That buffet is for value. It's the best in town. It's not the best bargain. The best bargain would be at South Point. But for when you look at price to value and creativity, the Palms is definitely it. And people flock there for that buffet. In our member rewards book, we've got a 2-for-1 for that buffet. And that includes, for Las Vegas Advisor, and that includes the lobster buffet on Wednesdays. And that's like a $70 buffet. And people, they line up like crazy, man, to get in there. And then they have a crab leg buffet, I believe, on Thursday, which is about $20 less, but they've got king crab, they've got snow crab, they've got Dungeness. I mean, they really do a great job with the buffet there.
Let me ask you a question. Speaking of crabs, I remember there was an article a few months ago where there was a big die-off in one of the, I think it was king crabs or something up in Alaska, where they said like 1 billion died. Have you seen any change? Like, are there the crabs happening less often at the buffets, since I'd assume they'd be much harder to come by?
You know what? They stopped serving crab in a lot of the buffets. You can barely find the king crab anywhere. Sometimes I think maybe at Wynn, sometimes at Bellagio, maybe, or it's cold, or there's smaller kings or whatever. You just don't find it anymore. And that was, that might have something to do with, I heard about as well, what you said, with the shortage, that there's some kind of shortage, but this was before that. And they just kind of stopped doing it in Vegas, just with the overall demise of the buffets in general. The king crab, you just weren't getting it anymore. That's why it's a big deal at the Palms.
Gotcha. And then got one more question for part one. I always ask this, how's Virgin doing? I still get offers from them.
Virgin, I don't see any difference in Virgin. I was just there the other day. I tried their Thai restaurant, and it's Night Plus Market is what they call it. I thought it was, mediocre in terms of, you can get great Thai in Vegas, places like Lotus of Siam and various others. I wasn't really impressed. And again, I mean, it's kind of like you can shoot a cannon through the place. It's just they just aren't drawing the people. Now their sports book is open finally.
Oh,
After 2 years since the place opened, the Betfred Sportsbook is now open there, but they don't have a race book. They don't have a mobile app, and it's just like they just keep crawling over there.
I know they have a very fun video poker game there. I was playing. It's like it's like wheel poker. If you get a natural 4 of a kind on 3 play, 5 play, 10 play, you get to spin a wheel, and it has a minor jackpot and a major jackpot, like a slot machine that are progressives. And I was playing that the last time I was in Vegas. I got dealt 4 of a kind, so I got 10 wheel spins.
Oh boy!
Won like $1,650 on that on quarters.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen it. I have to look it up.
It's right next to the sports book.
I was going to say they're kind of aggressive, I think, in their marketing, because I haven't played there in years. I haven't been there since the changeover, and they keep sending me offers. They just sent one for a free Virgin cruise for 2 and a 3-night stay, and I haven't played there in years. I have to go there April 29th. I'm not going to be around because I'm going on a cruise over in Europe. But I thought it was a pretty good deal. So it seems like they're trying to market aggressively.
They may be, and I mean, of course, we've talked about this before. You take advantage of those opportunities. They're still trying to make it with the music. They bring in a lot of these alternative bands into their thing. One's called the Shag Room, and Matt, you probably know it better than me. You stayed there, but they've got a couple of venues, and they bring these alt bands in. I don't know how well they draw because I don't go to those, but I don't know what the level of that clientele is either. I doubt they're gamblers. So I just think that they may be marketing hard. I just don't think that they're getting the results that they want.
Yeah, I remember when we were there, it was on the weekend, it was slammed. And then as soon as Monday came around, it was a ghost town.
Interesting. And like I say, I'll bet they're probably there to, party and for the music, which is fine. That's part of the equation now, is revenue, non-gaming revenue. But I just don't think that they're getting it done in the casino from what I witnessed.
All right, so Anthony Curtis, that does it for part 1 of our video. If you want to see part 2, make sure it's you go to our other channel, youtube.com/@American Casino Guidebook. Thank you for joining us. If people want to know more about you on your work, where can they do that?
Well, online, we're LasVegasAdvisor.com, and just come take a look there. We're concentrating on gambling material. We just made a deal with Arnold Snyder. We've got all of his information from Blackjack Forum that he has had up for years and years. It's now on LasVegasAdvisor.com. So you want to, we're doing stuff with 888. We're doing a lot of gambling stuff in our question of the day. So that's what we're focusing on right now. And then, our YouTube channel, Las Vegas Advisor.
Yeah, and I'll have a link to that down in the description. So make sure you subscribe to them. They have fantastic information.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and best wishes for good luck in the casinos.